Thank you very much.
Very much.
Yeah, you're getting nervous. First time back on the mic for a couple of weeks.
Well, you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
Supposedly, yeah. Well, unicycle.
Yeah.
So, he's well and truly back now, isn't he?
He is. It was a fantastic event last night, I must say. It did look like after they went out to complete the sort of 9 holes, the last 9 holes remaining of the third round, when Tiger overturned a 4-shot deficit and turned it into a 3-shot lead with 1 round to go, I thought, well, Tiger's just going to stroll away here now. DeMarco fell apart on those 9 holes that he had to play, and it looked like DeMarco would fall apart in the last round indeed and let Tiger just waltz away with it, but nothing could be further from the truth, could it? He was terrific, DeMarco. He really was tenacious. He hung in there, but in the end, Tiger did just enough with, I must say, the best shot probably I've ever seen. That chip shot at the back of 16 was just incredible.
And the way it seemed to sit there for about 30 seconds before it fell in, didn't it? It was just fantastic.
I mean, I reckon he could stand there with a practice bag of 1,000 golf balls and not get it within 3 feet. Never mind hold it, and never mind the situation he was in, because once he went big there, and DeMarco had a very makeable putt, it didn't look very good for Tiger, I must say. I never dreamed he would. I thought he would bumble something along the ground, and hopefully some way and somehow he would get the pace right. But to check at the top of the slope like he did, and then just let it die down at a right angle towards the hole, and then it sort of, as you say, hung on the lip for an eternity, and it fell in. The emotion that he showed there was, it just showed you what it meant to him to win his 4th green jacket, that is for sure.
He's still a bit wild with the old driver, though, isn't he? He's struggling a bit with it.
He is. I mean, he's a lot better than he was. I mean, this time last year, he was a lot wilder. He's slowly but surely reining it in. I mean, I think that's the key thing for Tiger. We all know how brilliant he is with his short irons and his chipping and putting. That's kept him on the world stage, if you like, with a driving and long game that's been, well, less than adequate, to be honest. But now it's getting better. He is still got the odd wild one in there. We saw that at 17 after he chipped in for the 2 at 16. And also, added to that, I think he almost felt like, well, that's it, I've won it now. He kind of took his foot off the pedal there in some way, mentally, to finish with 2 bogeys, and then he sort of refocused, got that little bit of a breather, went down and played the first playoff hole beautifully. 2 superb shots and a great putt. Great win for Tiger. And an important win for him as well, because if he'd lost that, a lot of people have been saying, well, as they have been over the last sort of 18 months or so, Tiger's not won another major, and he's not the force he was, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, that, for him, DeMarco had pressure, of course, to try and win his first major, but for Tiger, it was especially important that he did convert yesterday, and he did.
He was very emotional with the interviews last night. His dad's clearly not well, and he did well, didn't he, to focus. That must have been playing on his mind, certainly towards the end.
I think without doubt. I mean, obviously, his mum's ever present at these events, and his wife now, but his dad, although he was in the Augusta area, he wasn't well enough to go to the tournament, and he hasn't been well for some time, so Tiger's, you know, like all of us, life goes on, whether you're a sportsman or a broadcaster, whatever you are, you have your own private life to deal with, and Tiger's just got to do it in public and perform at the same time, which isn't easy. It's not an excuse for him, but he's just got that as a human being on his mind, and I suppose you could see in his interview at the end when Jim Nance mentioned his father, you know, he got all glassy-eyed, and he obviously realised that his father's in a poor way, and with that in mind, that makes it even extra special for him, I guess.
I think it's good for the game that he's back. I mean, you're right, over the last 18 months, people have been doubting him, and the game's not quite the same with that. I mean, you don't want that total dominance that he had, but you do want him to be able to win a few tournaments.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Whatever way you dress it up, Tiger Woods is box office. I mean, you can see when he produced something like that, only he could have produced it. I don't think there's another player in the world. Davis Love held a very similar shot some time ago, but it wasn't when he was just in the lead with 3 holes to go in the Masters, and that's the type of situation that Tiger Woods seems to, time and time again, pull out the amazing, the incredible, the miraculous, and that's what makes him so watchable. And yes, we don't want one person to be all dominant. In fact, we're talking about the big 4 now, the resurgence of Ernie Els and Phil Mickelson and BJ Singh, who's now just been overtaken by Tiger Woods as the world #1. It's fantastic to have these 4 guys, and Retief Goosen, who finished 3rd again last night alongside Luke Donald. Should mention Luke's performance.
Yeah.
Very good from him, the young Englishman, and maybe a major's not too far around the corner for him. But to have Woods being the man to beat, it makes great viewing, it really does.
He's got 4 green jackets now. What he's going to do is going to have them made into a suit with a cape. And a hat.
You know, it's incredible, isn't it? Mickelson won his first green jacket last year, and you could see when he held the putt on 18 what it meant to him to get on that major roster. Now Tiger Woods has won 9 majors. He's at the halfway mark to Nicklaus's reachable, you'd have to say if you're a Tiger Woods fan, figure of 18. But he's got to keep pulling out performances like that. He's got to do it another 9 times to equal Nicklaus, 10 times to beat him. Remains to be seen if he can do it, but And we all know what an incredible talent he is. I really do think we're lucky to be around, particularly if you're a golf fan, in the time of Tiger Woods, because we've seen some amazing stuff. He's not even 30 yet.
I mean, VJ did pretty well, but Ernie Els had a bit of a nightmare, didn't he?
Ernie Els, he had a bad event. It just nothing went right for the week, and that can happen to the very best of them. He's been playing well, and he's won this year. He's the world number 3. He's trying to get into that number 2, number 1 situation, trying to perhaps topple VJ or Tiger. But he knows the pressure's never off him. He's got to keep going, because as VJ keeps hitting thousands and thousands of balls and tries to make himself the best player he can be, and he's early into his 40s, and Tiger Woods now resurging as perhaps the best player we've ever seen. It makes for an exciting combination of events coming up. The next 3 majors to come up. Will Els win a major? Will VJ Singh win a major? Will we have a European major winner? We desperately need one of those. We need a Luke Donald, a Padraig Harrington, a